So happy Sabbath, Church! I'll be bringing you this week's COVID-19 update as usual. So here's the graph I normally show you, at least.
So happy Sabbath, Church! I'll be bringing you this week's COVID-19 update as usual. So here's the graph I normally show you, at least in the past few weeks, about cases in Ector County. As you can see, it looks like there's more good news for this week, with the number of new cases dropping to 100 new cases this week. So that seems to be good news. This week, actually, I had a conversation with Andrew, and he actually described a situation which got me to kind of think. As you probably all know, he works in one of the hospitals in the area, and he's in charge of really caring for COVID-19 patients. The one thing that he indicated to me, which was kind of mind-boggling if you think about the graph that I just showed you, was that the number of people who are in the intensive care unit with respect to COVID-19 hasn't really changed since August. He did note that the number of severe cases, like the people who are on ventilators, has decreased quite a bit, but the actual number of people in ICU beds is still about the same. So that got me thinking, and I did a little bit more research in Ector County's data that they have and presented, and I'd like to present with you a new graph this week for your consideration. So this is the graph I'd like to show you. As you can see, it's divided into three colors: red, yellow, and green. Red indicates the number of people who are on ventilators in the hospitals with respect to COVID-19. Yellow is the number of people in the intensive care unit, and green is just the general hospitalizations due to COVID-19. So if you look at the yellow number, which is the number of people in the intensive care unit, you can see it roughly hasn't changed, as Andrew has mentioned, since the start of August. So what does that mean? It's actually a difficult question. Obviously it means that the number of moderately ill people who are in the intensive care unit is roughly the same. But yet, we have fewer positive cases in Ector County. Doesn't that information seem to be a little bit at odds with one another? So just discussing it with a few medical professionals, I think we came to a different conclusion. It seems like the number of testing that's being done in Ector County is probably lowering. The reason is that the number of positive cases as a fraction of total is still roughly the same, and the number of beds that are filled in the intensive care unit is still roughly the same. So the only explanation is that the number of total COVID-19 tests that are done in Ector County is lowering, because the other percentages seem to be constant. So what does that mean? Well, if you look back and compare us to the peak in July, it still indicates that we're doing a better job. But it doesn't quite paint as rosy of a picture as I've been painting over the past couple of weeks. So the only reason why I'm giving you this week is just to make sure that you understand, right, that you have to look at all the data. I'll probably be presenting the data more as a cumulative whole in the coming weeks and discussing it in aggregate, as opposed to just giving you one particular fact that looks rosy. But in the meanwhile, again, just keep practicing your appropriate COVID-19 practices, including physical distancing, face coverings, wearing face coverings when you need to get near someone, and just generally doing only the essential tasks that you need to do. And until next week, I wish you all a happy and healthy Sabbath, as well as a healthy and safe week.